Hello, my name's Martin and I work for CF Systems. And today I want you to ask yourself a question. Could your business be at risk because of the software that you're running? Sadly, software and hardware either are rarely created to last forever, and even in their short lives they will need to be constantly checked, constantly updated to make sure that they're both able to keep up with the user demands as they evolved, but also with the threats coming their way. Additionally, we have the issue that many vendors will over the years change market strategies and they'll decide to change or discontinue a product. This is a classic end-of-life situation, which is when IT or software vendors stop supplying updates or stop supporting the product. And this is where businesses quite often find themselves at a crossroads, and they have to make a fundamental decision as to whether they should keep running the discontinued product and take the consequent risk, or if they need to start thinking about a replacement. This is especially challenging in niche markets where your business may well have been built upon and rely heavily on what is now legacy technology. So I'd just like to take a moment to think about factors that we believe you should take into account in this scenario. And the first and potentially the most important thing to consider is that discontinued, unsupported software will not receive anything in the way of patches or security updates. There won't be a team working on it anymore, therefore those updates won't arrive and the product will no longer be supported and will be potentially result in vulnerabilities. Your firewall and your antivirus, no matter how well set up they are, will not be able to block every single threat coming your way. So typically we would always recommend that software should always be patched and always up to date, so the software itself can create a layer of defense. If your software isn't being updated anymore, this means that inevitably you're going to be exposed to hacks and security risks. And the question is this really worth it? Secondly, I believe that you have to consider legal aspects. We probably all know by now that a new data protection regulation, GDPR, will soon come into force, and that this will apply new and much higher fines to non-compliant businesses in the event of a data breach. If your software isn't up to date and isn't therefore secure by default, this in itself could cause a breach, with all the business risks that this might entail. And the same applies to hardware. If this is not supported or checked anymore because the manufacturer has discontinued or put it at end of life, this could put your employees at risk. Again, the question is out there, is this worth it? You also need to think about the problem of cost, and in particular the maintenance cost required by outdated hardware or software. This will often be higher. You'll often need to refer to a third party that has to find alternative solutions as the original equipment manufacturer isn't offering support anymore. So what looks like a cheaper alternative may in reality not be. Then last but definitely not least, a software or hardware that's not patched, not up to date, not supported properly could well simply perform poorly, causing some issues with productivity and performance in your business, which might include slower machines, it might include less reliability, it will almost certainly include lower security, as you won't be supported by security patches and updates. In reality, you probably won't be supported at all unless you pay additional fees to a third party to do so. So as you can see, quite often the risk and the cost brought by an end-of-life software or hardware scenario will, in the long run, potentially actually be more costly to your business and definitely more risky than investing in new product. One of the areas we typically help businesses with is an audit of their infrastructure to help judge the risks of their current hardware and software estates and potentially managing end-of-life scenarios. If this is something you'd like to talk to us about, please feel free to get in touch. Best way to do this is to look at our website, www.cfsystems.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching.